And my wish to you is success and millions and billions.
22 and 49.
Diddy is 49 years old.
Oh, man.
That is a 27-year difference.
Lori Harvey was never supposed to be pregnant, especially not by him, and everyone assumed her story with Diddy ended when she walked away from his chaos. But a leak tonight threatens to rewrite everything. Insiders claim footage exists showing Lori forced into a night with Jay-Z at one of Diddy's notorious parties, and that her silence was bought before anyone could connect the dates. The trail runs from the 2019 Rock Nation brunch, when Beyonce's fans swarmed Lori's Instagram for smiling at Jay-Z, to Diddy's federal trafficking charges in September 2024, and a series of lawsuits alleging filmed encounters with incapacitated guests. Sources say Lori vanished from events for weeks, and one even claims her pregnancy was quietly handled after a private confrontation between Beyonce and Jay. Yet questions remain. Why did Lori suddenly cut off comments? Why did Jay and Diddy close ranks? And why did Beyonce cancel 2 public appearances that same month? The surface story doesn't explain the reactions, and that's the real scandal. Not who slept with whom, but who ordered the cameras and who still controls the footage.
Her mother is 54 years old. Her mother is 5 years older than Puffy.
Inside the industry, the first reaction isn't outrage, it's calculation. Diddy's team moves quickly, pulling phones, freezing group chats, and sending coded warnings to stay silent, while Jay-Z's camp offers nothing, maintaining the polished wall of silence that has always protected the empire. Beyonce's team disappears from public view. Stylists cancel fittings, and the Carters are spotted entering their Manhattan office separately for the first time in months. Insiders say the footage causing this panic didn't come from a hacker, but from someone inside Diddy's old circle, tired of fear, and the timing aligns with federal raids on his LA home last year and his obsession with filming everything. Lori Harvey's months-long absence from events, abrupt unfollowings, and canceled shoots in late 2019 now look less like heartbreak and more like cleanup. What once seemed like a casual fling, photos of her on Diddy's yacht in Italy smiling beside him weeks after appearing with his son, now reads as induction into a carefully orchestrated environment. Diddy's private parties, later described in lawsuits as elaborate power games with recorded encounters involving multiple men, included initials matching Jay-Z. When those filings surfaced, Jay's legal team reportedly coordinated preemptively with Diddy's lawyers. Lori's name doesn't appear in the records, yet her proximity to both men is undeniable. Even her stepfather, Steve Harvey, allegedly tried to pull her out that summer, urging her toward brand deals, but she returned to New York for Diddy's white party, reportedly leaving through a side entrance after midnight, exactly when the cameras were switched off for everyone but Diddy.
I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
By early 2020, the facade begins to crack. Lori deletes dozens of photos, turns off comments, and quietly flies to Dubai, while the Beehive interprets her silence as guilt, flooding her old posts with the emojis, and Beyonce takes the Grammy stage in a gown rumored to remind him who's in control. Jay-Z abruptly cancels a London meeting that same week, and insiders describe tensions so severe it turns physical: broken glass, thrown phones, staff dismissed for overhearing too much, making the empire builder look suddenly cornered. When Diddy's ex Cassie filed her explosive case in 2023 detailing years of coercion, those in the industry had already seen the tapes. Her suit settled almost overnight, but the federal investigation that followed unleashed whispers of a second set of recordings involving younger celebrities, including Lori, always paired with Jay-Z in hushed tones. What had long been sold as a friendship and legacy between Diddy and Jay now reads as a mutual defense pact. Decades of shared legal battles, revolving lawyers, and coordinated statements, all about control rather than guilt. The danger of the new leak is its intimacy, not spreadsheets or fraud, but recordings from private nights where the world's most powerful artists became complicit in what they cannot spin. Beyonce reportedly saw part of these drives, prompting frantic calls and a strategic silence that now governs every brand deal, streaming contract, and album rollout. Industry insiders describe a wave of scrubbing, rebranding, and rewriting history. Photographers deleting portfolios, assistants offered six-figure hush deals, and Lori's calculated return to public life with high-end skincare moves that feel rehearsed. None are new to scandal, but they are new to losing control of it. The fear multiplies because if one tape ties Lori, Jay, and Diddy together, who else in the industry could be implicated? The more they try to contain it, the louder the silence grows.
Jay?
Yeah.
At this point? I would want, why?
Then comes the contradiction no one can explain. If Lori was a victim, why is she still so protected? And if she wasn't, why does every insider treat her like someone sitting on a bomb? Those who once mocked her as a social climber now rush to defend her off the record. One source claims she was promised safety for staying quiet. Another insists she has leverage enough to take them all down. Beyonce's continued public composure reads less like forgiveness and more like warning. She performs, smiles, and disappears. Jay-Z launches new ventures with his usual swagger, but every appearance carries the tension of a man bracing for the next headline. Federal investigators combing Diddy's seized hard drives reportedly found unidentified female subjects labeled only by initials, and industry insiders already know who LH means. If those initials align with the brunch dates, the fallout isn't scandal, it's empire-level collapse. The deeper the story goes, the more it feels engineered. Executives who once protected Diddy and Jay-Z are now quietly cooperating with federal authorities, but only after securing immunity, signaling the hierarchy knows how deep this goes. A name keeps surfacing. A former Roc Nation aide allegedly handling off-the-books payouts, wellness retreats, and silence agreements between 2018 and 2021. The alarming part is how many of those involved were influencers, models, and brand protégés now severing ties. This isn't just a scandal at the top. It's an entire network quietly dismantling itself before subpoenas hit. Lawyers call it protection. Insiders call it TRIA. And when you learn some of those so-called wellness retreats were held at properties now under federal seizure, the idea of coincidence collapses entirely.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past, okay?